What's up, folks? Jacob Rob AJ here. So today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on an album entitled Akeda, and this is by Matisyahu. The last album that I bought by him was entitled Light. I haven't bought any albums since that time. Since this album was 15 tracks, I just wanted to go through and share my thoughts on this album. Track number 1 is entitled Reservoir. It starts out with light piano. Kind of felt like I would have liked the track more had it stuck with the piano throughout the song. I love when it goes into the lyrics.
Moses is on his way downtown. Yeshua maintaining the fountain. Right about now, I should be over Chicago. Lights out.
Track number 2 is entitled Broken Car. With this track, it overall had a laid-back feel to it. I found myself liking a lot of the lyrics that were in this track. Track number 3 was entitled Watch the Walls Melt Down. With this track, it kind of had like an upbeat ska feel to it. I like the rap verse that he did within the middle of the track. Track number 4 is entitled Champion. The moment it came on, it definitely sounded like a song that was a single. Track number 5 is entitled Built to Survive. I thought this track had a very odd transition from the previous track. I don't know if I was going to like the track at first, but then it kind of started building on me a little bit later on within the track. I actually had to go back to the track and listen to it a few times and kind of see if I really was into the track, or if it was a track that I didn't like or did like as I kept going back and forth on this track. Track number 6, I really liked the lyrics that was done within this track. Track number 7 is entitled Black Heart. From the start of this track, I kind of went back and forth on whether I liked the beat or not. First, I listened to it and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to like this. Into a little bit more and I was like, you know what, I kind of like this. And then I listened to it again and I was like, you know, I can't decide whether I like this or not. The action didn't really catch my attention and grow on me until it got 3 minutes into the track. Track number 8 is entitled Star on the Rise. When I first seen the title of this track, I said, this is going to be my favorite track. Listening to the track, it wasn't my top favorite, but it was definitely one of my favorites from this album. Track number 9 is entitled Surrender. I like his flow at the very beginning of this track.
The moon on the rise, you are my tide, you are the one. Sing the song of creation and an anthem for the young, my next life.
I kind of like how he transitions in the track from the beginning to the 21-second mark of the track, and kind of how it goes into that beat during that point. You kind of tell that this beat wasn't rushed through and how it was crafted real carefully. And by the end of the song, I was just really vibing out to this track. Track number 10 is entitled Confidence. I like the way he's spitting in the beginning of this track. Felt like the beat was real laid back on this. Also like the feature artist that was on this track as well. Number 11 is entitled Vow of Silence, Shalom. I thought he was spitting at the beginning of this track. I didn't get into the beat until the chorus hit. Just kind of like the way that his rap went, like once it got to that middle part, and kind of how he built up his rap, and he just kind of exploded from there. Number 12 is entitled Obstacles. I like the guitar jam that was done around the 3-minute and 20-second mark of this track. Number 13 is entitled Hard Way. I like the intro in this track. Track number 14 is entitled Sick for So Long. When I heard this track and seeing how long it was, I definitely felt like this track should have been the very last track on the album. About 8 minutes long. Felt like the vocals and production really stood out. I was more of a fan of the second half of this track. Track number 15 was the title track. You kind of hear a very clean acoustic track. Really focus in on the vocals and what he's saying. And overall, this was one of my top favorite tracks. It was easily one of my favorites on this album.
How can I talk to you? It's the same story. Teach me to love.
overall there were 15 tracks on this album. Just hearing a lot of the production, I didn't think I was going to be a big fan of it. I felt like the production kind of held up. I get the feeling like, am I going to like this or am I not going to like it? And you start to think to yourself, I'm not going to like it. And then it goes back to you kind of listening more and more deeper within the song. You start becoming a fan of a lot of the production. So I don't think it's going to be an album that you just listen to once and not like it, but I think it's a lot of tracks on here that will grow on the listener. It's not going to be a CD that you just throw in your CD player and listen to, you know, while you're trying to drive somewhere, because you're not going to have that same feeling. But it's definitely one of those albums that you sit down to listen to straight through and just kind of vibe from. If you did get this album, feel free to share your thoughts. What was your favorite track? If you had a least favorite track, feel free to share that. And overall, what did you think about the production that was done on this album? But until next time, this has been Jacob Rob AJ, and I'll see ya.